Hello and welcome back to the Manufacturing Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Jim Mayer, and I am absolutely thrilled to have you with us today. But before we dive into today's exciting episode, a quick reminder. Don't forget to check us out at manufacturingculturepodcast.com and connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest updates on manufacturing and culture. And a huge shout out to our sponsor, Spironi, for their absolutely unwavering support. We couldn't do this without them, and we really appreciate them. They're heroes in this industry. So now let's get rolling. Today's guest is nothing short of a manufacturing maverick, a true rock star of the industry, and a beacon of inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to introduce Courtney Tate, the visionary owner of OnTime Quality Machining. Courtney's story is not just about precision in manufacturing. It's a tale of passion, purpose, and perseverance. Growing up in Milwaukee's inner city, Courtney transformed his early challenges into a powerhouse of potential. With a BS from Milwaukee School of Engineering and a childhood filled with curiosity and creativity, he's been shaping the future of manufacturing one CNC machine at a time. Courtney's mission, it's grand and groundbreaking. He's not just running a successful job shop, he's revolutionizing the industry by opening doors for underrepresented communities. His business, nestled in the heart of Milwaukee, serves as a beacon of hope and opportunity. Courtney is not just an entrepreneur, he's a community hero, dedicated to bringing jobs back to the Milwaukee area and offering a chance for many to grow thriving careers in manufacturing. But wait, there is more. Courtney sees his field as an art, pushing boundaries with modern methods and a unique vision. His approach is as refreshing as it is revolutionary, blending the technical prowess of Autodesk Fusion and CAD CAM systems with the excitement of video games, a blend that captivates the younger generation. In today's episode, we'll explore Courtney's journey, his vision for the future, and his ambitious plans to turn on-time quality machining into a franchise model. It's a story of transforming dreams into reality, and of course, his beautiful vision of a CNC shop on every corner. So gear up for an inspiring ride with Courtney Tate, a man who's not just making machines, but is also crafting a brighter future for many. Stay tuned and let's get this show on the road. Courtney Tate, welcome to the Manufacturing Culture Podcast, my man. Thank you so much for being here.
With Jim, man, thanks for having me, sir. I deeply appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
You got it. You got it.
Yes, sir.
I love the formality, Courtney. You don't have to call me sir, man. You called me sir in the email messages and all that. That is not who I am. I may be gray in the beard, bud, but you don't have to call me sir. It just makes me feel older, Courtney.
I got you, Jim. I got you, Jim.
All right. There we go. There we go. That's what I like. Courtney, you and I literally reached out to you a week ago, and it'll be a couple weeks once this is released. But a week ago, I reached out to you on the advice of a mutual friend, Andrew Crow. I really want to thank Andrew publicly on here if he's watching, listening, whatever he does with this.
Andrew. Yes, sir.
Drew, you're the man.
He is. But
Courtney, you and I have had a pretty neat interaction in the 20 minutes that we've been talking already before we hit that record button. I'm really excited about today's episode. I love your energy. I love your passion. I love what you are doing in your local area in Milwaukee. So tell the listeners of the Manufacturing Culture Podcast, what is the story of Courtney? How did you get to where you are today?
Yeah, man. So a little bit about me here. Well, yes, I'm saying, just like Jim, I was born and raised in Milwaukee all of my life here. Grew up kind of rough in some rough areas, things like that. I didn't know my dad, my mom, she wasn't around. So basically my grandmother raised me, so we grew
Okay.
up poor, I didn't have a lot of toys and things like that, but I always loved math, science, and tinkering with things. So me, I
Cool.
grew up not having toys, right? So I found aluminum foil being my best friend to where I could mold and shape my own toys from scratch. And then I didn't know that was part of like building things and being, kind of a nerd in a way, right? So, but
Yeah.
anyway, I went to Milwaukee Trade Technical High School. There, your freshman year, they have electives like plumbing, carpentry, welding, auto shop class, and you have to choose an actual major. Me,
Okay.
I chose tool and die. So there, tool and die is the manual mills, the no, it's the manual lathes. I
Yep.
had to cut my own inserts, making my own hammers and wrenches and things like that. So I just started from the old ways. But
Yeah.
anyway, my junior year, it was like 10 kids that were chosen to take college courses at MATC, which is our local technical college. So
Yeah.
there is where I first seen the CNC machine. Like, man, I fell in
Mhm.
love right away. Like all these fancy lights, like, whoa. And just to see it move and zip around and move around, I was like blown away. So I knew then and there I found my calling. And without knowing, it's like I just knew, like, this is going to be
Yeah.
something I'm going to be doing. So,
That's cool.
I end up graduating from high school and with their certificate of completion from for tool and die. There, I took college courses at MATC, which is a 2-year course. So they teach you CNC setup operations, and they also teach you how to write program code.
Wow.
So there, so that's your associates there. So I took it from there and went to MSOE for 2 more years and got my bachelor's. So
Cool.
ever since then, I've been working at a lot of companies around here locally, big end shops, big companies, little companies or whatnot. And then I just seen all these different methods or whatever, right? So, but it was always something about me wanting to grow and do more and within these companies. But like a lot of times, they kind of put you in a box and just say, well, no, hey, you're hired just for this here. But I'm like, hey, I can do lathes and everything else as well too, and it's needed over there, right? So, but I will also see that they were using older methods, which is fine. But this field is technical, right? So it's always growing. So
Yeah.
I would tell them, like, hey, there's a tool out there that can cut this a lot faster. So in this trade, and we sell time basically. So a lot of companies, they would say no, and we're not going to do that, whatever, things like that. And plus me, a lot of times I was the only Black guy working throughout these companies.
Right.
Like say these companies have been open in 60 years. I was the very first engineer in history hired at a lot of these places, right? So I worked at a lot of
Wow.
lot of companies. Some I've left more so for growth purposes, but just also too politics, like things
Yeah.
like that. It was just a lot of that, man. So, but I think that was a gift and a curse in its own because it pushed me to open up my own company here. So I was like, look, I'm just gonna take that leap. I got an SBA loan from a Wibbick, you know. That's a
Yeah.
great source there. So they helped me out throughout the whole process. So I took a 90-day course to help me build my business plan. They also had bankers that I would pitch to after that 90-day process. So bankers that would actually fund me. So it was me and 15 other people that day pitching for funding. I was the only one chosen that day to get funded. So I was funded $250,000 to get on-time quality machining going here. So without that, I would not be here right now. So I'm currently going on now. My third year will be in February here, so next month will be our
Congrats.
3-year mark already. And I'm still learning a lot about business. Just building those partnerships and then networking more, finding the right team as well too. So that's very very vital. I messed up at first hiring friends. I kind of
Oh.
learned my lesson there. It's like, oh man. But it is what it is. Like 1 month they ship parts out bad, and that was like 70
Oof.
grand I lost that month. So that hit me hard being a company new, up and coming. I couldn't afford to take hits like that, but I learned something though. I learned
Yeah.
that everyone doesn't like to see you elevate and grow. And it was kind of
Mm.
hurtful time, but it is what it is. Like for me, failure is not an option, man. I literally have a bed in my office here to where if I got to be here 7 days a week to get parts out on time overnight, whatever it takes to make the customer happy, get those parts out on time, I will do it. But now I have a good team in place to where I can delegate tasks, take some of the
Good.
pressure off me, get these grades out that beard, so much grades popping in, which it looks good because your grade looks awesome, Jim. So, hey,
Thanks, brother. Thanks, man. How many employees do you have now, Courtney?
So currently I have three. So I have
Awesome.
two first shift guys and I have one second shift guy. And of course me and my wife as well too, right? So five of us total. So I am
That's awesome.
as we grow in cash flow and workflow, I am looking to hire. So I currently have a contract deal, knock on wood, that's in the works here. If that launches off, man, that would be a tremendous deal for me. That would change us in a way to where I could eventually buy an actual building at that point and put the classroom in there as well too, because we're also focused on teaching as well too. So me and a partner of mine that teaches at MATC, he's been teaching there about 22 years in the actual trade. So me and him is coming up with a 16-week course that teaches the raw day-to-day basis within a CNC shop. So you're not doing all this other classes that you're not going to use daily, whatever, right? So, but this teaches them everything from CAD and CAM, entry level CNC setup for lathe and mill, and we also have fifth axis, fourth axis milling. So we do modernized fixturing, things like that. So they're learning the up to date technology as well, and also too, it's a family feel here. I just bought a 85-inch TV for like days on the weekend, we can watch the Packer games as long as we keep the machines going or something like that, and we can watch some games, right? So just to have that feel, even though it's work, right? But to me, it's
Yeah.
not work to me because I love this trade, man. I would do it for free, but just so happened that we're solving billionaire problems, they will gladly pay you for it, right? So that's what it's all about, man. And more so reaching out to the youth as well too. I was just reached out by MPS here to be their new youth apprenticeship in employer. So I will be working there
Really?
with teens a lot more, things like that as well, to get that message out there because a lot of teens just don't know. And me, I live in
Yeah.
the messed up neighborhoods, man, the hood, right? Things like that. So just last week, it was a teen walking down the street with an AK, like kind of like in his to where I could see it. So, but yeah, it's like
Wow.
hanging like right here. So me, I popped out on like, hey, that's a nice gun, man. Guess how it was made though. So I showed him some
Ah.
videos and things like that. He was like, what? So he was like, are you hiring? I was like, not right now, but give me your number and things like that, But see, it's just things like that that gets me happy to reach
Yeah.
those teens that's in messed up places in their life right now. I
Yeah.
grew up similar, didn't have a dad around. My mom was in prison. My cousin sold drugs, gang bang, whatever. Just so happened I made it through those cracks, man. And
Yeah.
oh man, I've been
I'm happy you
silent,
did.
man, all that. But just so happened by the grace of God, man, I made it. I made it through, and I'm right here, right now, able to change lives. But
I
I
love it.
can't do it alone. I need help from building partnerships, say with customers to get that work in here. So the work
Yeah.
isn't just to work to make money; it's to also employ people that need it.
Yeah.
And it would change their lives drastically, like literally. Like everyone I show this to and bring them in my company and walk them around, they're blown away. Like I never knew this even existed. I'm like, yes,
Wow.
man. Like this is where it's at. This is how things are made.
Yeah.
So and they're just blown away, man. So yeah, I am happy to be able to be on platforms like this to get that message out there. Just like
I
we
love it.
said before talking, there's not a lot of guys that look like me that's really doing it this way. Like I've
Yeah.
Googled companies trying to find, guys that look like me that own companies like this, and there's none. Like
Yeah.
so yeah,
Hey,
so
You and I are talking again because of Drew. I
Yeah.
reached out to Drew because I'm creating these themes
Mhm.
for this year, right? Not less of a shotgun approach to my
Mhm.
episodes.
Yeah.
February, I really wanted to focus on Black journeys in
Yeah.
manufacturing.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and I reached out to Drew because I started going through my LinkedIn
Mhm.
connections,
Yeah.
and a lot of them look like me, right? Or
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
one way, shape, or form.
Mhm. Mhm.
And last year, when Drew was on the show, we had talked about being intentional in how people go about creating deeper connections with different
Mhm.
communities and underrepresented communities.
Yeah.
And albeit I did not do as good of a job as I would have
Mhm.
liked to, and built a more robust community. So that's why he recommended I talk to you, right?
Yeah.
As
Mhm.
we're talking about Black journeys in the
Mhm.
manufacturing industry,
Yeah.
um, you've had, it sounds like, some very unique
Mhm.
experiences, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you're a Black man
Yes, sir.
in Milwaukee, and so tell us a little bit more about how your journey now as a Black entrepreneur
Mhm.
has shaped your perspective of the industry as a whole, right? Has it changed since you've opened your shop, and your perspective about the industry?
Yes, yes, it has in a way. It really has. But in some ways, I still see a little bit of pushback sometimes. So, for instance, and we're currently ramping it up, sales and marketing always door to door, whatever. But I noticed that when I'm doing door to door, and I come to these companies and I tell them about me and what I do, they're blown away. Like, what? Like, really?
Really?
And some can't actually believe that I own a shop. Some of the
Yeah.
time I walk around there with my Haas hat on, and because I have Haas meals, so they ask,
Yeah.
so do you work for Haas? I was like, I own a couple of Haas, and food, do you need any parts made? This name of my company, so on and so forth, right? But I think that a lot more guys are opening up because they know
Okay.
that we are in this to together, man. We're trying to
Yeah.
bring work back home and keep it in the USA. Just because my paint job is a little bit different than yours, I still have a family. I still have a heart. I bleed the same way as you. I still have a
Yeah.
vision. But how can I partner with you so we can both get some money, man, and feed our
Yeah.
family? Like
Absolutely.
and also take care of our customers. But I do see some of them, right? Because I have a couple of my buddies that I do work for, and then we actually share work. So I
Mm.
would get turned down from a company that I go quote for or go pitch to, and I would have cheap prices or whatever. But I would say, hey, man, I tried this company, try them out and see if they would give you a actual shot. And a lot of times they would, and his prices would be
Wow.
more than mine. But that's just because I'm like,
Wow.
well, what other reason would they? I'm like,
Yeah.
but I even, Jim, I went as far as bringing my work resume. It's like a lot of these companies will hire me, but they won't partner up with me to give me work to help build up my actual company here to where I can save some of our lives by
Right.
creating jobs. So I've seen that in a way, but it's very interesting because I'm able to talk with the owners face to face and just kind of vibe out with them and let them know, like, yeah, I'm something new. I'm a new flavor out here in the mix of things, but it's okay. I know what I'm doing. I don't know it all. I seek knowledge from my customers to learn and grow as well too. I value knowledge more than money because the
Yeah.
more problems or knowledge I know, I'm able to solve just those many more issues and problems. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, those are kind of ways I kind of see things changing as being a black guy in this pond. But I'm
Yeah.
eager and I'm hungry, man. Failure is not an option. Um,
Yeah.
I'm I'm
I
looking to
feel you.
do it. It's like me. I love everyone, man. Like I don't have any bad energy towards anyone. If people don't like me, I say, hey, thank you. Hey, you have a nice day, man. If you need me, reach out to me. And
You
something
know where to
something else
find me.
doing as well, Jim. I've been kind of using the fact that if these companies do business with minority-owned companies, they get a tax write-off. So I've been using that in my
Absolutely.
marketing to kind of like pull them in, you know, like, well, hey,
There you go.
you know, you might
Yeah.
not like my paint job, man. You can still save money right away just by doing work with me, man. Like, you know, what you want me to do here, you know? But
My
this
paint job is cost savings to
right,
you.
right, exactly, exactly. You know, so yeah, I've kind of seen that, man. But you know, working throughout these companies, being the only black guy that's eager and able to
Yeah.
solve problems. Some of these guys look at me as I'm trying to outshine them or outdo them when I'm just simply doing that what I love, and I
Yeah.
share this knowledge with them. Like you know, say
That's awesome.
for instance, I worked at a company where they were having issues they with a part. It was taking them an hour and 15 minutes to make one of these parts, and they're making thousands of these parts yearly. So finally, they listened to me, and I was able to add one tool. I took it from an hour and 20 minutes down to 15 minutes with a high feed mill.
Dude.
With a high feed mill, one tool. Once they seen that, the owner came to me and was like, "Man, how'd you do that?" And I told him. So it was like me and 15 other engineers there that I just set them down and
Wow.
I told them about the process and method. Now that tool, they order like 50 of them, you know, and they
Wow.
were saving money left and right. And like millions of dollars being put back into the company's pocket just for listening to me. But it was just so much pushback, man. I'm like, yo, what's up with
Unbelievable.
that? Like, we are in a technical field that's always changing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, that's been kind of my thing with
We're
that, man. So, yeah.
we're in a technical field, but we're
Mhm,
also I argue all the time with people.
mhm.
This is just as much a human field as it is a
Yep,
technical field, right?
yep, exactly.
Um,
Yep.
and the humans that companies are employing. I mean, that's why I started my company. That's why I started
Mhm.
this podcast. I love the people in this
Yeah,
industry, right?
yeah.
Very passionate about the fact that to me, manufacturing built the middle class in this country,
Yes.
right?
Mhm,
And when we offshored a lot of our work, our manufacturing, we've
mhm,
seen this decline of the middle class, right? We've
mhm,
seen more families go into poverty in the
mhm.
last 30 years than at any other time in our nation's history, right? Because we
Yeah.
haven't had this middle class to build off of.
Mhm.
Do you see similar things in your area there in Milwaukee?
Yeah, yeah, I do. You know, just like I said, you know, opening up this business, my vision where I was just trying to see, you know, well, what's the need? You know, how could I, you know, make sure that I'm going to make it, you know, opening up a business because I'm putting my house on the line, literally, right?
Yeah,
And then one of the things was for one, the baby boomers are retiring at a rapid rate and enough youth are not coming in filling those voids. That was one of them. So I know that the companies may fire my work then also too, you know, Trump as well. That's my guy. I don't know what other people. I'm not. But I'm gonna say I like him because for one, what he did for guys in manufacturing is that he put tariffs on things. So
sure.
therefore, their work being made over seas there, you know, it started to come back home a lot more because prices started to balance out. I'm not going to
Yeah.
knock China hustle, you know, whatever, but their work, their work needs to come back home, right? You know,
Yeah.
and I think that now, just seeing that more, I'm starting to see a lot more of that work trickle back in, as a lot of my partner companies are, and we're talking and things like that, and you know, the war and all that stuff that's going on in the world, you know, with China and all that. So it's not good, but it's kind of good for manufacturing because they know that we should have been making our stuff home anyway. You know, we sold
Absolutely.
out to them, selling out the middle class. Like, let's fix that once and for
Yeah.
all. Make it back
Yeah.
home again. You know, make it made in
Absolutely.
USA is where the high quality is at, man. That's where, even though it might cost a little bit more, but you pay for quality, so you don't have to buy the same thing twice because it breaks faster, right? So you're
Yeah.
saving money either way, right? So I see that kind of, you know, coming back this way a little bit, you know. So
I
yeah.
love it. So tell us a little bit about your Autodesk CAD
Mm,
CAM video game mashup
yeah.
that you got going on, man, because
Yes.
I'm always looking at ways to get young people
Mhm,
interested in manufacturing, right? Especially in,
mhm.
I live in Phoenix. We have a
Yeah.
lot of underrepresented communities here, right? And a lot of
Mhm,
schools. don't have the money to
Mhm.
have CTE programs, have machine tools on classroom floors. So they're looking
Mhm.
for virtual ways to get kids interested. So
Mhm.
I'm dying to know, man. Tell us
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, man. So as you know, Autodesk Fusion 360 is just like Mastercam, Esprit, Bobcam, things like that. But each one has their different price points. Like I was looking at Mastercam, but the price point was a lot of money, and I'm like, yeah, you know. So I follow my guy Tights of CNC. That's my man. That's like my virtual dad, if you don't know. But
Really? All right.
yeah, man, I love Tyson CNC. So I was actually taking his courses, right? And
Mhm.
there's where I was first introduced to Autodesk Fusion 360. So there with Autodesk, that's what I use. So I actually chose that because for one, the price point is so cheap and it's just as powerful as Mastercam and those others to me.
Yeah.
So I think a seat of that I pay about $600 for the year, and it comes with lathe posts, milling posts, fourth axis posts, fifth axis posts. I'm able to do
Really?
everything I needed, and I'm able to create 3D models on there as well too. So you have your
Oh
CAD and
my.
CAM side. So the CAD side stands for computer aided design. The CAM, as you may know, computer aided manufacturing is where you write, so you write the program code at. So
Yeah.
anyway, the CAD side is where the video game, it's all a video game to me, right? So I tell kids, you're able to literally think of something, make a model of it, and then you're able to create it in the CAM side and produce it and make it tangible, put it in your hand. So it's like a video game on steroids because you're
I
able to
love
sit here and doodle things and make things. And not just that, once you have that 3D model, oh, you're able to make that bad boy real now. So I
it.
connect with the kids because a lot of kids, like I said, around here, they like rims. So I try to
Hmm.
connect with them in a way. So they like
Okay.
rims, they like Jordan tennis shoes, Nikes, and things like that, right? So I tell
Yep.
them, like the Jordan soles of the shoes is made out of a mold. That
Mm.
mold is made on a CNC machine. But first, that mold had to be designed from somebody thought how to design this Jordan shoe or sole. They pour the plastic in, open that mold, out comes your sole of your shoe. Boom, over and over again. Even
Man.
rappers, kids here like rappers, right? With the big chains and
Yeah.
pieces on. I like, dude, don't you know how those were made? Those are made out of a CNC machine where you take an ugly piece of metal and take the 3D model that you created out of your head, any design chain you want that the rappers got, carve and shape that metal, or you can go make it out of a 3D printer. You can 3D
Oh,
print these pieces now. So now I'm connecting that with them in a way, and they're like, "What? Really?" I'm like, "Yes." Like even the rims, the nice big rims on trucks, they like the rims.
yeah.
Those are made on a CNC machine. I'm like, bro, you can sit down with me and we can customize any rim you want to make and make it right. So this is how I'm connecting it with the youth on things that they like.
Yeah,
So,
you're able to reach them on a level that I
mhm,
mean is unique to you, right? I
yeah.
couldn't go in there. I wouldn't know what they like, right?
Yeah, you see?
I
Yep.
I
It's all good. It's all good.
I mean, my daughter wears dunks, right? But
Yeah,
that's
see?
because she's a privileged white girl in
Yeah.
North Phoenix, right? I mean,
But those
that
but
that
those some still take the same CNC process method to make them
absolutely.
real. So
But
you
I
can
never
still
would have connected that. I
see?
never in 100 years, man, would have made that connection
Yep.
of you like dunks? Those dunks, the mold for the soles of those are made on a CNC. I never in a
Exactly.
million years would have
Yep.
made that connection, man. That is
Exactly.
genius.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. But see, that comes because I got teens as well too. So I connect with them on that level to where they put me up on game. I look
Yeah.
at the little rappers they like and be like, "What's that?" He's like, "Dad, man, you see his chain? Isn't his chain nice?" I'm like, "Yeah." Huh. So a light bulb goes on, like, oh, okay, so that's what you like. Okay. But guess what? That chain was made this way,
That's
and that
awesome.
connects them with the CNC world and with the CAD and CAM, and plus, kids like video games. Mine's do at least. I still game
Yep.
out every now and again when I have some time to
Heck
free my
yeah.
brain, whatever. But
Yep.
anyway, these video games is just simulation. They're doing the same thing over and over again, selecting certain features and buttons and things like that.
Yep.
But it's the same, you know. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
able to connect them with that, and man, and then the CNCs, it's like it gets even funner because after you develop this process, you make the 3D model, you make the process, the tools, and everything to make this happen. You take that and load that code onto your USB, whatever. Now the fun is still going on because you're able to take that USB, go to your CNC machine now, load your tools, your vices, and everything, and bring that guy to life. Bring it to life. Make it a reality now. And you can sell it
Dude,
and get money for it. What? Oh, come on, man. Like it's crazy,
that's
man. Like
amazing.
it's crazy,
That's
man.
amazing.
Yes,
I
sir.
love it. So I also really want to ask about your
Yeah.
idea of franchising
Yeah.
uh, on
Yeah.
time. Tell me about that vision, man, because I love the idea of a
Mhm.
machine shop on every corner, but that's because
Yeah.
I'm in this industry and I love this industry. I've got coolant in my veins and my
Yes, sir.
nostrils permanently. Right? But tell us about this. How did that idea come about, and how are you going to make that a reality?
Right. So I'm glad you asked that question, Jim. So for me, the reason why, I mean, I love knowledge so much. I've always loved knowledge more than money, right? So I guess that kind of helps me more so in this area, right? So the
Yeah.
vision from the franchise market came to where a lot of people work in this trade and think you don't make good money, but you make good money just learning how to program code, set up whatever else. But now the carrot, let's take it, not really a carrot, it's a real thing. Let's take it to the next level. Let's talk about
Yeah.
legacy now. Let's talk about legacy now. Okay. I don't have to be a huge company. I could be a little
Right.
company with multiple arms. Just like Chick-fil-A, in order to be a franchisee of Chick-fil-A, you have to work there for a 2-year term before you're able to do your own franchisee. So here we have a process here where I'm trying to develop now where I will be monitoring these guys, seeing their growth, seeing their hunger as they work with me under me for a couple of year terms or maybe even a year. It's based on a worker, right? From
Yeah.
there, I got a way to where either myself can finance CNC machines, but by me seeing, meaning that I want to put them on every corner. There's a lot of abandoned buildings around here, right? Little things
Yeah.
like that, spaces. Okay, I tell them what, like, look, bro, I got a nice huge contract deal here. I got so much work that I don't know what to do with it. I can only do so much, right? Tell you what, you're killing it right now. You go over here, I would help finance your building, your machines. I would give you so much work and I'm gonna take a cut off of it. This business, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna take 30%, whatever, off, whatever. But instead of you making 6 figures a year, you're now making 6 figures every month. On top of you have a legacy now that you can pass down throughout your family. So once you die
Wow.
and go on, you're able to do that. And that helps me to be able to touch multiple parts in the world.
Yeah.
Florida, wherever, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta,
Bring it
but we
down
have
here
a
to
team.
Arizona.
Phoenix, most
Yep.
definitely. Can't forget Phoenix, right? So
Yeah,
this
buddy.
way, we're able to develop a team here, which would be the hub zone, to where we would do the prove out process. Once it's proven out, we would then send that work to your company. All you have to do is do the same thing you're doing daily anyway, coming in, setting up the machines, making good quality parts. But now you have a team behind you to where you don't have to trailblaze like me to find customers, build those partnerships and relationships. I've I've already done that for you. All you have to do
Wow.
is come to work day to day, just like you're doing now. But now you're the manager of your own operation with help behind you, so you don't have to struggle like I had to do, or some days figuring it out, bumps and bruises. I'm
Yeah.
trailblazing for you, taking the bumps and bruises. So I'm making the process just that much more seamless for you. Also,
Wow.
too, automation at some point. I will bring in robots. I also have my associates in electrical engineering for our final project, and we had to make a something. And what we did, it was a group of 5 of us, and we made a robotic arm. We wrote the program code, everything from scratch, and it did an easy
Wow.
simulation. It just grabbed the box, moved some things around. But if you see
Yeah.
these robot arms now to where it came from to where it's going, it's like, wow, we literally thought of their process, wrote the code and everything for it, and here we are. So if they
Dude.
can't find workers fast enough, which I'm sure they will, because the way I'm marketing this thing, I'm making it fun again, I'm making it sexy. And just to have that envelope here, you don't have to be an athlete to make millions. You don't have to be a
Yeah.
rapper to make millions. You can do CAD, CAM, CNC manufacturing, and get to the money. And you're saving, problems, So yeah,
Courtney,
So
I see this being even uh, just a massive idea. I
yeah,
love the idea
yes, sir.
because I could see somebody who's not right for college, not right for university, right?
Yep.
I
Mm-hmm.
keep telling kids in schools that I talk, if you're willing to go take out 200K, 100K,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
why not take out 50K, buy a Tormac or a Haas or something like
Oh, yeah.
that,
Yep.
have your parents' garage
Mm-hmm.
rewired, throw
Yep.
it in there. Now they can come to you. They don't have to go to Xometry to get a job and undercut other people. They can come to you, prove out processes,
Yep.
and just run that job in their garage, dude.
Exactly, Jim. You hit it right on the head. Even though I love Xometry, they were my very first customer.
Mm,
They're awesome, but
yeah,
some of the, I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Some of the things on there, the price point, sometimes the jobs, because they will quote the
yeah,
work for you. You got to go on there and select it if you can make it. Some of the
yeah,
jobs on there that they quoted will only cover the cost of metal. So
yeah,
I'm like, where
absolutely.
do I make money at here, man? Can I talk to the guy that's quoting these jobs, please? And a lot of times they won't let you do that. So it's like, and you have to make it within a timely manner. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, come on. So that's what kind of the downfall of that was. But by my process, we have the hub here. We're proving our stuff raw day-to-day time. I know how stuff goes, whatever, but we're figuring it out. And as a unit, we will be able to pump out good quality parts within a timely manner, Also
wow,
saving lives, changing lives, creating legacy for multiple people that want it, man. And crime rate will drop dramatically because they can see how fast you're getting money. And then
yeah,
with the youth, I bring them in here. Some kids, I will bring them off the street and just have them work for the day. I will pay them the same day they leave. Just keep money
yeah,
in their pocket,
yeah,
whatever, so they don't have to go out and do any crime and anything like that. I say
yeah.
instead of you guys flipping bricks of dope or whatever, you flip bricks of steel, aluminum.
I hope that when you write your book, Courtney, because you will write a book, because you are a dynamic motherfucker, man.
Man, listen, that's what I thought. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I
You
love
are
this.
one dynamic dude.
Yes,
When
sir.
you write your book, I want it to be flipping bricks of steel, not dope. Something along those lines, man. I want that to be the title of your book. It's got to be.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it.
Oh my
I
god.
love it. But yes,
Well,
sir.
because you're right. You are changing lives, right? And so
Yes, sir.
uh how does somebody else in this industry, right, that may come from a different background, maybe a little bit more privileged background, how do we get involved in helping change those lives, right? How do we support businesses like yours? How do we find businesses like yours, right? We were talking
Mhm.
before we started recording. You
Yeah.
Google manufacturers that are black, and you
Yeah.
have a hard time finding them, right?
Yeah.
Um, so how do we get involved if we come from a little bit different background to help change the lives of young underrepresented groups in whatever city we're in?
Yeah, man, I would say, Jim, do just what you're doing right now, sir. Connect with people that's in those pockets already. Like my guy
Okay.
Andrew Crow. Hey,
Yes,
Andrew, I'm
sir.
gonna get a grill too, man. I love it. Hey, I'm coming. I'm gonna get slugs, bro. Hey, so connecting with guys like that that's already in those pockets, Jim, that's living it, that's there. Even though it's not many of us, but there's plenty of us, right? So
Yep.
I know plenty of us that's interested in this, even though it's one of me in this spot. But I know many,
Yeah.
right? So as long as we continue to connect those bridges and just know that, man, we're all human, man. Like, listen, I was born this way, you were born that way. So be it. You
Right.
know, how can we come together as brothers and sisters? You know, that's what it is as the human race and get
Yeah.
to this money and change these lives and lower the crime rate. Like, how do we do
Yep.
that? You know, you guys may have more resources than us or whatever. How can you
Yeah.
blend that with us to make this
Right.
thing blossom and grow? Like, I think
Yeah.
that's the perfect way. But what you're doing right now, Jim, is that's the perfect way, man, just to start those talks and get to meet people and and fix it,
I can't wait until I'm in Milwaukee next time
Yeah,
for
come on to the minute.
WIMTS.
I
Oh
got you,
man,
sir.
I am
Yeah,
going to hang out with you
thank you.
until you're sick of me.
You're not
But I think I
never.
think that we have this commonality, right? We have
Yes, sir.
that's why Andrew and I connected. That's why you and I connected right off the
Yeah,
bat. We're passionate about this industry, right?
yes,
And
sir.
it doesn't matter your paint color, right?
Yep,
We
exactly.
both love this industry.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
And
And
so I think the more people just look at what do they have in common, what are they both passionate about, right,
yes.
and
Yep.
drive the message through that, who gives a fuck about everything else?
Yeah, man, exactly, exactly, and that's the type of energy I'm on. That's the type of time I'm on. But as they say, love conquers all. Love is
Yeah.
always powerful, more powerful than hate. I could always,
Yeah.
even at companies I worked at, I was the only black guy. Whatever. I tell a guy, man, hey, good morning, good morning. He'll be grumpy. One day he said good morning to me. One day he allowed me to buy him some coffee. Then we started going to lunch together. Then we started
I
chopping it
like
up,
it.
But
Yep.
I could have went that same route. Like, well, forget you then, whatever. But
Yep.
that's just. But I think one time I had a moment where I was in a company where it was me and engineers, and this one guy, I fixed his process for him. I didn't just fix it; I made it better. But he was mad at me. He would like smile on my face, go behind my back, whatever. It was a lot. But I feel kind of bad if I said this. I told him, man, look, man, I bet you $5,000 cash that I can outdo you and outthink you in anything in here. I probably should have said that.
Woo.
He was just being a complete, I like, but he didn't say nothing, Jim. He just walked away.
Really?
But I bet on
Dude.
$5,000 cash, you know, because I just
And
got
he
tired
just
of
walked
him, man.
away.
He was just picking with me, man. Like, but I think
Wow.
I was like, you know what, Courtney? You didn't have to do that, but he didn't have to do what he did either. But it is what it is. I'm not in control of what other people
Yeah.
do and how they move. I'm gonna just show them love. But I just show them love,
Yeah.
man. Even the guy before me, man, I hugged him, man. Like, man, give me a hug, man.
I
Just give
love
me a
it,
hug.
dude. I love it. I love that energy. Courtney, we're starting to wrap up here, my friend. Second to last question for
Yep.
you. What are three things that manufacturers can do to change their culture, their company dynamic a little bit internally, right? Whether that's embracing diversity, whether that's treating people more human. What are three things from your standpoint as a leader that you have done or want to do that other manufacturers could join you in doing?
Yeah, man. I would start with just embrace that everyone's different. There is more than one way to make something happen. Listen to
Yeah.
other ideas. Don't just shun it. If it makes sense, of course. If it doesn't, kind of tell them why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I would just say just have open arms, man, and embrace technology. And then I would say for another, just know that uh, we are all and we all bring some to the table.
Yeah.
Uh, whether you be whatever, green, purple, whatever, just have that open mindset and just
Yeah.
go for it. This guy might be onto something. Like I've had guys
Yeah.
teach me stuff all the time. Like I didn't, wow, and it worked. Better than my process, whatever. So
Absolutely.
and I would tell that guy thank you or buy him lunch or something or whatever. Like
Yeah. Show
so I would.
appreciation, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Then I would just say, just continue to invest in your workers.
Yeah.
I tell guys that I bring on here, I'm looking for three basic things, man. Be honest, no basic math, show up to work on time, and I can work with
I
you.
love it. I
I
love
don't
it.
have to. They don't have to have all these skill sets and all this stuff. Me as an engineer, whatever, I make the process idiot proof in a way to where they can get it and grasp it, and grow. So I would just think though, y'all probably didn't do it in order, but maybe one
Hey,
thing. But I would say,
they're all over, but I love it, man. I love it.
yeah, yep,
And when you are ready to bring your OQM to Arizona, please reach
yes, sir.
out to me because I'd
I
love to
sure
help
will.
you any way I can.
I
If not, put a
appreciate that.
machine in my garage. My wife might
Oh,
hate me for that, but maybe I'll put a machine in the garage.
it's all good. Yes,
Courtney, I
sir.
really appreciate your time. What haven't I asked you that you want to share with the listeners of the Manufacturing Culture Podcast?
Um,
If there's anything.
I think you pretty much hit on everything, but I think one thing would be more so how do a guy like me, a minority owned company, can get in contact and get more of the workflow from some of these big wig companies to keep that workflow going to where I can support the franchise market when they come because it is coming. And they can also benefit from that as well, just from getting tax breaks, just for doing business with me, like that alone.
Absolutely.
Plus, we give good prices anyway because you know, I win when the customers win. It's like that's my
Yeah,
motto. I win and when they win. So
I love it.
yeah, I think that's about it. But everything else, you hit it right on the head, Jim. Man, you're an awesome guy, man. I deeply appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate you. And if you're still listening
Mhm.
and my cussing hasn't thrown you off, dear
No,
listeners,
it's,
and you have a shop
yeah,
and you're looking to outsource work,
yeah,
do me a favor, reach out to me to get Courtney's information or reach out directly to Courtney. I'll have all of his contact information in the show notes
yeah.
on Apple, on Spotify, and on YouTube. Reach
Mhm.
out to Courtney if you've got work. Let's keep this man so busy that he has no choice than to start this franchise model. Let's get
Yes,
him going.
yes, sir.
And that, my friends, wraps up uh, one of my favorite. I got goosebumps and all that. One of my favorite episodes in the Manufacturing Culture podcast. Uh, we dove so deep with Courtney. I let out an MF at one point in
Yeah,
this
hey,
episode,
it's all
guys.
right.
It was awesome.
I love it.
So
I
from
love
his roots, from his roots in Milwaukee's inner city to revolutionizing the manufacturing industry, Courtney's story is a powerful testament of the impact of resilience, innovation, and inclusivity. Today, we've explored the transformative role of culture in the manufacturing industry, especially through the lens of Courtney's experiences as a Black man.
Yes,
He
sir.
shared candid insights of the evolution of the industry, challenges and some triumphs of being a Black entrepreneur. And his proactive measures to nurture a diverse and vibrant workforce. I mean, who else has gamified CAD and CAM through Autodesk to make a video? I mean, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yes.
Um, his vision for a future where CNC shops are as common as barbershops in every community, and his passion for introducing manufacturing careers to underrepresented communities is revolutionary. I don't know very many people who talk the way that Courtney does about what their vision is. Um, if you've been inspired as I have been by Courtney's journey and want to hear more stories like this, head over to manufacturingculturepodcast.com. There you'll find other episodes like Andrew Crow, like we were talking about earlier. He, I think, was episode 5. And we dove pretty deep with Drew into his experiences. So if you love this episode, check out that one. Support the podcast because I want to bring more stories like this to your ears. A huge thank you to Speroni, our sponsor, for their incredible support. Their commitment for fostering a thriving community is what makes conversations like these possible. Last but certainly not least, please rate and review the show on whatever podcast platform you're listening on or watching on YouTube. The more you rate, the more you review, the higher we go up the charts, the more people actually find the show. I don't market, guys, because I don't want to mass market to people. I want this to grow organically, and you listeners are doing such an amazing job at reviewing the show, liking the show, rating it, and so more people are hearing it. So rate us again today. Write in the comments that Courtney's a badass, right? I don't care, but put something in the comments because that'll keep us moving. Until next time, keep shaping the future of manufacturing. Don't forget to rate and review the show. Stay inspired, stay innovating, and let's change the future of manufacturing one CNC shop at a time. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Keep making things.